Legal appointment. That's what the trustees I talked to are calling this. They say the news took them by surprise, and now they're talking to legal counsel to figure out their next steps.
Deep debt, and that is the finding of an investigation of village finances and the spending habits of beleaguered Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
A shocking interview has rocked Dalton, Illinois, sending shockwaves through the community. Jason House, who recently defeated Mayor Tiffany Henyard in the Democratic primary, sat down with journalist Regina Waller to expose explosive allegations about Henyard's leadership. What was once a quiet suburban village just south of Chicago has now erupted into political chaos, with accusations of corruption, financial mismanagement, and abuse of power coming to light. As House's revelations spread, residents have been left grappling with the magnitude of the scandal and demanding accountability. The interview unveiled a culture of secrecy, intimidation, and reckless spending within Henyard's administration. House described how Henyard ran Dalton like her personal empire, pushing the town deeper into financial instability with lavish trips, extravagant contracts, and questionable spending. But perhaps more disturbingly, House revealed a culture of control where dissent was silenced and opposition swiftly punished. According to House, Henyard's leadership wasn't just about governing, it was about dominating Dalton to maintain power and personal gain. As this revelation swept through the town, some residents felt vindicated, believing the interview confirmed their long-held suspicions. Others, however, were stunned by the scale of the allegations and the deep corruption embedded in the system. Local forums, town meetings, and social media platforms became battlegrounds where residents demanded transparency. Missing funds, intimidation, tactics, and potential legal action against Henyard were hot topics. It became clear this was no longer just a political scandal. It was a critical turning point for Dalton's future. The pressure on Henyard grew. Some community leaders called for immediate audits and full investigations into the town's finances. The fact that the FBI had reportedly begun investigating Dalton's financial records added fuel to the fire. Henyard's team, however, dismissed the allegations as politically motivated. She took to social media, painting herself as a victim of a smear campaign, claiming her critics were jealous politicians and suggesting that outside forces were conspiring against her. Yet, for many, this defense felt hollow. The FBI's involvement was undeniable, and with it came a sense of impending reckoning. Questions were raised about the misuse of taxpayer funds, with residents pointing to extravagant trips, overpriced contracts, and lavish spending that contrasted sharply with the town's deteriorating infrastructure. Essential services like the fire department were underfunded, while Henyard's lavish lifestyle seemed to drain resources from the very people she was meant to serve. The betrayal felt by the people of Dalton was palpable, and the controversy surrounding her leadership only grew stronger, deepening the divide between those defending her and those demanding change. As Henyard's re-election bid faltered, the town stood at a crossroads. Will Henyard be held accountable for her actions? House's victory in the primary sent a clear message. Dalton's residents are tired of the status quo and are demanding reform. But the question remains, can Dalton recover from the financial chaos left in Henyard's wake? With House now poised to take over, his promises of transparency and reform will be put to the test. The town is at a critical juncture, and the coming months will be crucial in determining whether Dalton can rebuild, or if the damage is irreparable. Dalton's political landscape has already been forever changed, and the drama surrounding Henyard's tenure is far from over. Jason House now faces one of the toughest political challenges of his career: restoring Dalton's finances and public trust after years of mismanagement under Tiffany Henyard's rule. With the town in severe economic turmoil, House will need to take swift, decisive actions to regain stability. But financial recovery is just one part of the equation. The years of scandals, corruption, and intimidation have left a deep scar on the community, and many residents are understandably skeptical about whether any leader can undo the damage done. While House has promised honesty, transparency, and accountability, his ability to follow through on those promises remains to be seen.
Unfortunately, we knew it was going to be a little messy, but it's just something we felt important that had to be done, that should be done. So, but like I said, you have just some kind of...
Then there's the lingering presence of Henyard. Despite her defeat in the primary, she still holds power until her term officially ends. And anyone familiar with her tenure knows she is not one to go down without a fight. The potential for legal consequences, including the FBI investigation into her actions, adds further uncertainty to the already volatile situation. Will Henyard attempt to sabotage House's efforts before stepping down? Could she use her remaining time in office to further consolidate power? Or will she step away and let the town begin its healing process? These questions loom large as the town braces for what's next. One thing is clear. Dalton is on the verge of significant change. The big question, however, is whether House can truly deliver the reform he promised. The damage from Henyard's Trois administration may be more profound than anyone realized, and while House's victory has been celebrated as a win for transparency and accountability, the reality of rebuilding Dalton's political system will be no small feat. As Henyard's time in office winds down, all eyes are on how House will handle the mounting pressure. Will he be able to restore financial order, rebuild trust, and navigate the investigations surrounding Henyard's reign? Or will the town's complex web of corruption and scandal prove too entrenched to untangle? The people of Dalton have been waiting for change for years, but now the question remains: can Jason House truly deliver on the promise of reform? With investigations, financial turmoil, and political battles on the horizon, the future of Dalton is uncertain. But one thing is certain: the drama is far from over, and this story is just beginning. What do you think will happen next in this high-stakes political drama? Will House manage to bring the transparency and accountability Dalton so desperately needs, or will history repeat itself? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned for more updates as this explosive story continues to unfold.